everyone, Angela here. Life can be challenging. Trust me, I get it. However, I have learned we can either view the opposition or value the opportunity. Ponder on the problem or praise the potential. Focus on the situation or find the solution. Despite the current circumstances you're going through, I invite you to join me today as we embark on a grand adventure to discover the reasons why it's a good time to be you.
Here's the encourager herself, making every day a good day, Angela Henderson.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to It's a Good Time to Be You. We are so glad that you are here today. Thank you for sharing your time with us. Turn to your neighbor and say, it's a good time to be you. It's time to be you. And it is. We are so honored to have you with us today. Now, before we get started to introduce our guest for this show, we do want to give a blessing. We always love to celebrate life around here. And so we are going to ask this young lady right here, she'll come up to the stage, and we are going to give you a birthday blessing. So come on up. Surprise, surprise. How are you today?
I'm doing well.
Wonderful. And what is your name?
Charlene.
Charlene. Okay. So, Miss Charlene, we like to give birthday blessings around here. We love numbers. We believe that numbers have an important part in our life. God loves numbers. He wrote a whole book about them, okay? And so numbers help to keep order, and it also gives us a little bit of an idea of what God was thinking when he thought of us. Now, I've had the opportunity to study some numbers and the biblical meanings of them, so I'd like to share with you maybe what those meanings mean compared to your birthday. So just give me the month and the day.
6/28.
6/28. All right. So you are a June baby. Yes. That's pretty cool. June represents a time of relationship. And it's a very important time. If you'll notice, in our society and in our communities, June is a wedding month, so to speak. Everybody likes to pick out the June weddings. But it also represents a time of, mankind. And it also represents a time of open doors. So it also represents separation. So there may be times where you feel like you're alone. And maybe there might be some closed doors. But what doors are closed, God said, or what he closes, no man can open, but what he opens, no man can shut. And so I think you've learned over your life about the doors, and what doors you can walk through and what doors you shouldn't walk through. And what was that day again?
28.
The 28th. 28 is a beautiful, beautiful day, and a beautiful number because it represents power. Mm-hmm. And so even though life has been challenging for you, you are an empowered person, and you are able to, each challenge only makes you stronger. And so be encouraged in that. And remember, it's a good time to be you, Charlene, okay? Awesome.
You.
Now we have something here for you. We have your It's a Good Time to Be You mug, as well as your face mask. So drink that with pleasure, okay? Knowing that God had great thoughts when he thought of you. You're welcome. So at this time, we are going to go to a break. But before we do that, we have a beautiful guest with us today, Miss Trendell Miller, who is a cancer survivor. And so she's going to be sharing with us her story about how she was able to overcome and be a victor in that battle rather than a victim. So we'll be right back. Hey, as a leader, you are a broker of gifts. So whether you are a professional, a business owner, or a ministerial leader, I would love to accompany you in transforming your ordinary staff into an extraordinary team through leadership development, team building, and personal discovery. You will learn the amazing gifts, skills, and talents that each of you have and know how to bring them together in order to do great things. So reach out to me at angeladhenderson.com and let's begin your amazing adventure today. And remember, it's a good time to be you. Welcome back, everyone, and we are so glad that you're with us today. Today we have an amazing lady, Miss Trendell Miller, who is going to be here to share with us about being an overcomer and just winning her battle with cancer. So let's give a hand for Miss Trendell as she makes her way to the stage. Welcome. We are so glad you're here today. It's good to have you.
Good to be here. Thank you.
Come sit right here. Come talk with us.
Okay.
Can't wait to hear your story. You know, I've heard just little snippets here and there that the producer has shared with us, but I'm so glad that you're here to talk to us in person about this battle. So share with me a little bit about your history and your background.
I am one of 12 from my parents. I'm also a twin. And my brother is just 1 hour older than me. So I've been married to my husband, David Miller. It'll be 50 years come December.
Oh, wonderful. That is awesome. Congratulations.
Thank
you. Wow. So what was life like a little bit before this diagnosis that, you know, was so devastating for you?
Before I was diagnosed, I was my husband bought me a red Mustang convertible, and I was just living the life, and everything was wonderful. The time you think everything is at its peak. Okay. And then I did a self-exam, and I went to the doctor, and then I was diagnosed with cancer.
Wow. And when you were at the moment that you were diagnosed, what stage were you in at that time? They
said that it moved like 3 centimeters. It was the growth of it, but I had never felt it before. So, but the contribution to the growth was the estrogen. I did not know that I was an estrogen receptor gene. And so all this time I was taking care of myself, making sure I'm eating right, but you never know what's in your family history.
Oh, wow. And
so I took the things that the doctor gave me, and it just fed. It said that it was like food to that area.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So what was the pivotal moment then, Ms. Trindle, that contributed to what you're doing right now?
That moment back when I learned that everyone should know their family history.
Okay. Because
that thing that you may be trying to do and keep healthy, you might have something that's being hidden that you don't know about. So if you are aware of those things, it will cause that, if it shows up, to not be so severe. So it's very important that you educate your family and know your family history when you go to the doctor. That's very important.
It is. It is. You know, I'm reminded of the scripture in 3 John where it talks about, you know, that may we prosper as our soul prospers. Amen. And we are a 3-part being. We are body, we are soul, and we're spirit. And when our bodies, which are the temples that house our spirit man, and the soul is what expresses and communicates, you know, how we feel, when that body is not well, it affects all the other areas and the other parts of who we are. And so it's important that we know our bodies and, like you said, know our family histories. And it's also important even in the spiritual sense, because there are spiritual genetics, yes, you know, as well that can affect us. And so just being aware of what runs in our families, so that then either we can stay tested,
right,
or that we can also, you know, be on the lookout, maybe eat the right foods or do the, you know, the things that we're supposed to be doing.
Right. And plus you can be proactive. A lot of people are not being tested for certain genes, and some of the you know, the actress that you might know about, they found out that they had the estrogen receptor gene, so they went in and had elective surgery. So it was in the family, so they knew that they had to be proactive.
Right. Mm-hmm. And being proactive probably played a huge role in surviving.
That's exactly right.
Wow, wow. Now, whenever you reached the diagnosis and you were told that it was the estrogen receptive gene, had anybody in your family ever talked about that before? I mean, did you have family members that went through that?
Nobody in my family had cancer unless I didn't know about it. Huh. My family was the type that was not open. Oh. So you don't know what the family members had. Because back then, they were private. Oh. But that you have to get away from that. You have to get away from being private. Share those things so the next generation will know. And so they can get tested and see if they have it.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we're getting ready to go to a break, Trindle, but when we come back, she's going to share with us how she overcame and kept believing for better days.
Hey everyone, Angela here. Just wanting to invite you to share your story with us. You know, we all have times in our lives when it just seemed like it was impossible. But then there was that moment of breakthrough. And just maybe your story was meant to be shared and imparted to be able to encourage and uplift others. Well, we would love to be able to give you that opportunity. So how about send your story into us at itsagoodtimetobeYou@gmail.com for consideration. We would love the opportunity to be able to bring you up on stage so that you can do what you were designed to do. And that was to be an encouragement to those around you. You know, sometimes you just can't make this stuff up. But when it happens, we want the world to know about it. So again, reach out to us at itsagoodtimetobeYou@gmail.com and send in that story for us to consider. And remember, it's a good time to be you.
Welcome back. We're here with Miss Trindle Miller, and she is sharing with us her brave story of a cancer diagnosis, breast cancer, and how she came to overcome that. So, Trindle, what was life like, after having your surgery?
It was a challenge because you had to adjust because your body had changed physically. But it's good to have a supportive partner so that wouldn't hurt your self-esteem. My husband was very supportive. But when it came to the part when they said, oh, you're going to lose your hair, I said to myself, I do not want to go to the sink and see my hair being in the sink. So I asked my husband to please shave my head. That was difficult for him. He didn't want to do it. But he finally did, and shaved my head, and then I went out looking for wigs.
Oh, well, you're such a beautiful lady with a beautiful face. I'm sure any hairstyle would look great on you. Awesome. Now, when you went in for your surgery, were you first diagnosed with both breasts or just one? Just one. The whole time I was, as I said, conscious of my body. Went to take my mammograms every year. And they said, oh, you just got to have calcium deposit. And I took their word for it. So, and then one day when I had 1 year when I took the mammogram, they said after I felt it under my arm, under my breast, I took the mammogram and they said there it was. So my question was, how did they miss this? It being that large. So how was it missed? So those were questions I had to ask. Right. Because then you had to make the decision about reconstructive surgery because I went back after the first one, the mastectomy. Then a year later they said calcium deposit. Oh, you don't have to worry about it. It turned out, I said, no, I do not want to hear those words calcium deposit anymore. Yes. And I said, I want it removed. This is proactive. They said, that's what you want? I said, yes, that's what I want. So we decided to go with the reconstructive surgery after that. That's wonderful. Great choices there. And I'm sure it was just the wisdom of the Lord flowing through you and catching certain phrases and words and diagnosis. And it probably going with the elective surgery, with a double mastectomy, it saved your life.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, because I have friends that were diagnosed after me and no longer here.
Wow. Well, how did you stay positive during that time?
I stayed positive mainly because I kept working. Didn't stay home from work, but then I had my old hymns that I rely on, all the spirituals. When peace like a river attended my way, when sorrows like sea billow roll, no matter what, God has taught me to say, it is well with my soul.
Amen. And because of that positive, and because of that positive mindset and that positive attitude, your soul was well. And that enabled you to take on the challenge of what was going on in your physical state.
That's exactly right. And I relied on God's promise. He promised 70.
Yes.
And I said, I hadn't reached the 70 yet. I was 49. So I'm counting on your promise.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So now our producer has kind of shared with us that you've developed some new passions in taking care of other people. So tell me how that came about.
That came about when I moved to South Carolina and retired from in 2014. And I was reading the papers that South Carolina ranked 10 in obesity and diabetes. I said, my goodness. Then I said to myself, I've been teaching for 28 years. How can I use what I've been doing for 28 years to do something for my community? Then I came up with I said, simple enough, I'm just going to educate people about taking responsibility of their own health. I wrote it was right after the time when they were trying to repeal Obamacare, and I wrote the president. I said, don't do that. Just add a clause in there. Give people the opportunity to go. During my seminars, I took surveys and said, if you can reduce your health policy, would you do so by taking care of yourself? Every one of them said, I had 99% said I would. Oh. So I sent all those responses to him. But one young lady said, I'm not giving up my pies.
Not giving up her pies. That was too big of a sacrifice.
Too big of a sacrifice.
I have to admit, I love my pies too.
But citizen taking charge tell you, you don't have to give up what you love. You just got to have a conscious effort to modify.
Yes.
You eat anything you want. I don't believe in diets. Diets are temporary. You got to change your mindset.
I love that.
It's a behavior change.
Well, when we get back, Trindle is going to share with us about her business, Citizens Taking Charge. We'll be back in a few.
All right, everybody, are you ready for another day of Arise? Yes. That doesn't sound convincing. One more time. Yes.
Arise is an amazing adventure. It has to do with personal discovery, team building, and leadership development. It's actually an acronym, and it stands for AIM, Reach, Inspire, Succeed, and Enrich. Our mission is to help each individual, each child, each teenager really begin to appreciate who they are as a person, know themselves, so then they are aware of what they have to offer and to contribute, and to do that with confidence, and to build leaders. We need leaders in our world, and it starts now.
So fear has its positives as well as its negatives, okay?
Today, we were working on an adventure of state management, kind of journeying into our emotions.
So when you have a problem, look for the solution, okay? Don't focus so much on the issue, but look for a way to solve it.
This program's been very beneficial to our students in that they walk away after 5 sessions with a wealth of information. They come back with such a toolbox of skills that they can use within their day-to-day, within their classrooms, with their social settings, outside of school, we hope as well.
We have had the wonderful opportunity to serve at Military Magnet, at Stahl High School. We've also served at North Charleston High School. We've served at Chicora Elementary, then of course as well here at C.E. Williams. And we're open to coming to any invitation that is offered to us. We love working with 6th grade on up to 12th grade, and we just find it a pleasure to be able to pour into these young people so they can go and pour themselves out into our world.
It's just a really awesome program. I suggest, any principal that's interested to reach out to Ms. Henderson, to the Arise program, and really just check it out. It's been really great.
We have Miss Trindle Miller here that's with us today, and the show is not only about how battling cancer and overcoming it or thriving, but it's about overcoming and prospering. And so, Trindle, share with us what made you decide to own your own business here in your elder years.
Well, since I retired, I wanted to keep busy. So I wanted to do something for the community that can help. And I focus on the help side because of the need of the individuals in South Carolina need to be educated about taking responsibility of their own health. So I decided to come up with this when the health care debate in Washington was they were trying to get rid of the health care. And a lot of that stemmed from a pre-existing condition, so you will not be able to get insured. So I wanted people to make sure that they are healthy enough so they can have an insurance and not worry about having large hospital bills. So that's what I want to focus on with citizens taking charge, just educating them.
Great job, great job. Well, we need more people like you for sure, helping us and teaching us. So tell me now, you've got a bucket of goodies under here. Why don't you explain to us what this is about?
This is my survivor kit. This is very important in these times with the pandemic. You have to be prepared. Just in case you come in contact with the virus, you got to be able to fight it off. So there are some important things that you need in your survival kit. Think of it as if there was a storm coming. And you got to get your flashlight and your candles and all the things that you need to be safe. So this is your survival kit. Your survival is in your hands.
Yes. Okay.
The first thing in my kit, oxygen. This is your container.
Let me see that. Right. It feels so light.
Yes, it's really light. People be saying, is anything in there?
I know.
Yes.
I know. Imagine something so light, but yet it just saves our lives.
Right. With the virus, that's where all the damage occurs. When the body can no longer get oxygen. And that's why there are lasting effects after you get over the virus, because those cells been damaged, the tissues. So you want that in your kit. Awesome. But how would you know about your oxygen level? You want this pulse oximeter.
Okay.
You want that in your kit. You put it on your finger, you turn it on, and it shows your oxygen level. Your oxygen level should be between 95 and 100. If it gets below that, then you should be monitoring it and taking the oxygen. If it gets in 91 and 90, you should be on your way to the hospital, because you don't want the damage being done. But if you're working using this and this, it can minimize the damage that would do to your body.
Awesome.
Now, you need a blood pressure monitor. I have that in my kit all the time. The doctor said, I go to the doctor for my physical. Oh, do you need some high blood pressure? No. He said, why? No, I monitor my blood pressure at home. And I make sure if it goes above a certain number, that I got to restrict something in my diet, make sure I'm exercising, but I monitor. But I am not saying anything against anybody who have high blood pressure. Take the medicine if your doctor requires. Right. I don't ever want to say that. But this is proactive. You want to do this to prevent you from having to have medication.
Awesome.
This little bag I gave to all of my grandkids and my daughter, vitamin C.
Love it.
Vitamin C is important. to help you fight off and keep your immune system up.
Yes.
I have other things in my kit, but you know about the masks and the gloves and the hand sanitizer. I also have supplement. Have you ever heard of mushroom, the supplement?
No.
Oh, a lot of people don't know that mushroom, penicillin is made from mushroom.
Wow.
So if you eat mushroom and gravy or a salad, or if you I buy the supplement. It's an automatic antibiotic.
Awesome.
Yes, and I gave it to my sister-in-law when my sister-in-law called me and said her husband was tested positive. I gave her the kit, but I also gave her the vitamin and said, you take this, don't take your gloves off, don't take your mask, take care of your husband, my son, but do those things. You know, she never did test positive.
Awesome. That
He
is
got
wonderful.
better. He followed the rules. And he's still thanking me. Said, Mom, oh my God, you saved my life.
Oh, that is so wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of this with us today. It's amazing. I know that we have gleaned from you and from your wisdom. And these items can be found at any store.
Well, this is what I want to do with Citizen Taking Charge. I want to put it out that they can contact me, and I put that kit together.
Love it.
I wanted to go to the rural area housing so they can have those things available. But anybody else who want it, because based on my business, I ordered from my health place.
Love it.
I can get it cheaper, but I can put the packet together, and when I have it published or put it on the website, and they can order from me, and they'll have everything in the kit.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Miss Miller, for sharing this with us today. And I want to ask you a question. When did you realize it was a good time to be you?
Oh, my God. When I woke up every morning, it's good to be me.
Amen. That's wonderful. How about at the count of 3, let's say it's a good time to be you. 1, 2, 3. It's a good time to be you.
Don't forget to follow Miss Trindle Miller and Citizens Taking Charge on Facebook.com. And remember, it's a good time to be you.